So here we are, still in the trade winds for the leaders. The trade winds diminishing slightly today, down to 15 knots in the afternoon. Hugo Boss made the best gains out on the west of the course. Chamonix Pujola are the leaders on the water by virtue of being closest to the most direct route. That's the yellow line we see left of picture, but still very, very close between these top four boats. Gaius had a good period and have been going very quickly. Renault Capture then coming through the Cape Verdes, and there you see One Planet One Ocean being chased by We Are Water making small but steady gains, and Spirit of Hungary there close to the African coast. They were about 70 miles off last night, and they're just making a jibe out to the west. They did that yesterday evening. They're looking at the fleet then. Hugo Boss in the west. We're looking down now towards the equator, which we should pass with the leaders late Sunday afternoon, early evening. Speeds should drop over the course of today a little bit, and there will be some doldrum activity, and the west generally is best on the approach to the equator. And the ranking then on Saturday the 10th of January, Chamonix Pujola still on top by virtue of the distance to the next waypoint at Cape of Good Hope. They are 8 miles ahead. Hugo Boss in second, Renault Capture third, and Neutrogena fourth. But look at the latitude column. Who's furthest to the south? It's Hugo Boss at 725, Chamonix Pujola 758. Neutrogena 812 and Gaius 833. That's the key column. Speeds are also important. Hugo Boss doing 17 knots, Neutrogena 16.7. Gaius really flying just now at 16.8 knots. And otherwise, One Planet One Ocean still going very nicely. Steady course in 6th place, making 11.1 knots. We Are Water 2.6 knots quicker in 7th, and Spirit of Hungary going nicely, 12.8 knots in 8th place.
10th day for the Barcelona World Race. Still, we are still high pressure on Azores, so we have still northeast for Spirit of Hungary. We Are Water on One Planet One Ocean. As in this moment, more wind at the west part, the more weak close to Africa. So good wind for them to go down. And for the leaders, they are going close to equator now. So the wind is degrading. The wind is degrading now, and we will see for the next slide. They will approach for tonight the zone. Tropical with equator. The doldrums are not so big, they are relatively narrow, so 5 north to 5 south must be the difficulty part for them. As you can see, they will lose the northeast back into east very slowly with a lot of doldrums, a lot of clouds, cumulus in this period close to equator, and after 5 south they will recuperate again the southeast wind. That's the trades for the hemisphere south.
We don't have a specific strategy for We Are Water. Our strategy is for ourselves, is try to sail as fast as possible. We know We Are Water is fastest boat on the paper than our boat. The only strategy that we have is try to sail as fast as possible and try to be at the same speed as they are now. Well, for the doldrums, for the moment we have an entrance point that we fix. We try to gain a little bit more of west than we are now, but this moment is a little bit difficult for the wind conditions. The only thing that we know for the moment is where we want to go in, but we don't know when we are going to go out.
So looking at the rest of the fleet, Spirit of Hungary going quite well. They've made that jibe out from the African coast. They're about 75 miles off the coast this morning. They've jibed out, done about 65 miles out, and jibed again, heading down towards the Cape Verde Islands. They're making about 13 knots just now. The good thing for Spirit of Hungary, having lost that Jenniker yesterday, their number 2 Jenniker, is they're still making good speeds and they're still catching We Are Water progressively. 4 days ago, they were 370 miles behind We Are Water. That was on the 6th, and today it's now 176. So they've caught up 200 miles in 4 days, really. And so there's a certain inevitability there. Equally, there's a certain inevitability with We Are Water catching One Planet, One Ocean Pharmaton. That's something both crews have acknowledged all along. We Are Water are making 13.7 knots today. One Planet, One Ocean, 11.1. And the delta between them is still about 55, 60 miles, something like that. But it's really que sera for them. What will be, will be. They're both these crews in particular are quite happy with their lot. We spoke with Alex on One Planet, One Ocean today, and he said that we know sooner or later We Are Water are going to catch us, but maybe their aim is to get to the doldrums before Bruno and Willie. But then a lot of things will change. We are quite sure is that they'll be that We Are Water will be faster than them, and they're not really going to push too hard and possibly compromise the race just to stay ahead of them. And I think Spirit of Hungary really starting to find their feet. They had some tough moments when they lost that Jenniker, a real bonding moment between Conrad Coleman and Nandor Fa, the oldest skipper and the youngest skipper, and they really do seem to be making good progress now.
Para la regata de la Barcelona World Race nos preparamos físicamente también, es un aspecto importante porque durante la navegación pues, la actividad física es un factor a tener en cuenta. Aquí lo que hacemos es un poco de ejercicio variado en el aspecto que trabajamos pues pesas, hacemos trabajos de pesas y también cardiovasculares, y ir a correr en bicicleta, etc. Y esta es una parte importante también en esta preparación diaria de la regata.
Una regata como la Barcelona World Race físicamente es muy exigente. Hay maniobras en las que tenemos que mover pesos, en las que tenemos que hacer la maniobra también. Podemos llegar a mover 1000 o 1500 kilos de pesos entre velas, recambios y otro material que llevamos a bordo. Entonces es muy importante que estemos preparados y que podamos hacer esto con normalidad.
Ça va bien, hein, on est content qu'il y a du vent et voilà. Et on dort pas beaucoup, non. On dort beaucoup. Comment ça, c'est depuis le début, c'est des heures où on doit barrer, quoi. On a un peu sous-estimé la vitesse de descente de l'anticyclone, donc on s'est piégé un peu. Et puis là, on était content de revenir au contact. Maintenant, on n'est pas très très bien positionné, mais et cette nuit, on a pris 2 fois dans le comment dire dans le la quilla, on a pris 2 fois une marche arrière, mais bon, tout roule et puis c'est avec les petits camarades, quoi. C'est bien, et puis les 3 autres bateaux qui sont dans notre groupe là, ils vont vite, hein, donc il faut pas lâcher, quoi.
Des mauvais, oui, parce qu'on avait dématé avec Dylan la dernière fois. Et puis on s'est arrêté il y a un peu plus d'1 an avec PRB à Minde pour réparer le franc de PRB qu'on avait cassé. Mais bon, le Cap Vert et tout, écoute, c'est des îles que j'aime bien, moi. Voilà. Comment est-ce qu'on va aller là sur une trajectoire où tous les bateaux vont être à peu près, vont passer pas très loin du même endroit de noir.
Donc, mais étonnant parce que depuis les canaux, on fait des vitesses vraiment fortes, quoi. Toujours à des vitesses impressionnantes. On est obligé de barrer tout le temps. Enfin, c'est on va dire, pour le moment. On était beaucoup au contact avec Guillermo, avec Géna, et puis euh, et Gaës aussi un peu. Mais non, on n'a pas fait avec beaucoup de choses. Dormi un peu, je me réveille un peu. Et le run est quand même assez soutenu depuis le départ, quoi. Et c'est intéressant parce qu'il y a du contact, il y a comment, voilà, il y a les classements changent. Là, on est dans un petit groupe qui est assez serré, c'est assez sympa, quoi.
So it was another fast night then for the leaders, principally talking of Chamonix Puigela, Hugo Boss, Neutrogena and Gaius in the same group. Hugo Boss a little bit quicker, Gaius back in the frame very much, quite quick overnight. Chamonix Puigela have now reorientated themselves slightly more towards the main pack, towards Hugo Boss. Doldrums are still quite south, but not really too onerous, about 100 miles wide, maybe 10 knots of breeze, I think, all the way through. But the pattern is changing. There is some shower activity and some squalls, and we should see the fleet at the equator, or the leaders at the equator, by Sunday, end of the afternoon. Today should be in about 15 knots of northeasterly breeze until around about midnight, then it will drop away. Otherwise, South Atlantic is looking quite active in terms of the high pressure there. There are 3 different centres. We spoke with Chamonix Puigela, one of our leading boats, in fact the leader on the table today. Jean Le Cam was talking about passing the Cape Verde Islands. He has 2 different particular memories of the Cape Verdes. One last edition when he had to stop with Bruno Garcia on President when they lost the mast, and also he stopped in the 2013 TJV, the Transat Jacques Vabre. They had to stop into Mindelo when he was on PRB to carry out rudder repairs then. So he has some memories of the Cape Verde Islands, but he really says he does like these islands really. And Jean Le Cam, talking about the doldrums, said that most of the boats will go through in roughly the same place. The wind is still quite strong, speeds are quite high today. And they've twice said in consecutive days really about the pace of the race so far. They've been on the helm the whole time, and when they're not steering, they're sleeping.